Yo, what's good, guys? I hope you're well. My name's Jordan, or Jawz Graphics, and this is how to start making clothing designs. This is actually the first video on my channel ever, so allow me to quickly introduce myself. So, like I said, my name's Jordan. I'm 18, from the UK, and I'm a full-time clothing designer. So, back when I started, roughly around a year and a half ago, videos like these really helped me, to start on my journey, and I thought I'd do this for my audience and, for everybody else that's watching. So I just also want to apologize for the shitty microphone quality. We're going to get that all sorted out and, hopefully bring some better quality videos in the future. So let's not waste no time and, let's get straight into it. So as you can see right now, I'm in my Photoshop application. If you haven't downloaded Photoshop yet, or you do, I'd recommend to be on 2016 or higher, because that way you get the extra features like camera roll and some of the selection features, and overall it's just some better running interface. So we're about to create a new document now. I have some others already made, so you should see new document roughly around this size, and this is where you really want to pay attention. So instead of pixels, over on the right side, we're going to be working on inches. And I like to work on a document that's 14 inches by 17 height. You want kind of like a big document, and you don't want the height or the width to be much bigger than the other option. So yeah, just that's something to keep in mind. And for the resolution, this is really important. You want 300 dpi, which means dots per image, and that just means, if you're trying to upload your design, or you're trying to get it printed, you make sure it's in the best quality possible. It really helps your manufacturer and the people actually looking at the design, because it's in a higher quality. So we want color mode RGB and the background contents to be transparent. And yeah, and then we're going to click create. So right now we have our new document made. I know it can look a bit daunting at first, there is a lot on the screen, but I'm going to really quickly break it down for you. And then we'll start getting on to making some, a basic fucking clothing design. So up on the top left-hand corner, we have file. And this is where you can create a new document, where you can open the previous documents you've been working on. You can open a recent document, so if your Photoshop does crash, you can open a recent one up. That's a lifesaver, honestly. You can quick save your document. You can save as, if you're saving a new file or you want to rename your file. Then we have export, when you're getting into like the sliced images, like the carousels that people make on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, that's just some basic runarounds of the file option. Excuse me. And then you have edit. This comes in clutch too. You have undo, if you want to quickly undo something. You have redo. Just your basic shit. How to make a pattern, define a pattern if you're working on, a set group of images. You want to make it into a pattern to put in like a text design or something, or a mock-up. That's great too. We're not going to focus on that today, but that's also something else to keep in mind. Then you have images, the image section, sorry, if you want to resize your canvas or your image. I don't use those too often, but they're also something to take into account. You have layers and stuff, you have your type. These ain't really too important. Then you have filters. This is where the magic happens. Like I said before, you want to be on 2016 or above, so you get what we call the camera raw filter. I promise you in later videos I'm going to show you how this will come in clutch. You have your filter gallery where you can add your grain and stuff, your blur, your noise. Yeah, there's just a ton of cool stuff in here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that side. Now we're going over to the left. So up here at the top, we have the move tool, which can also be accessed using the V on your keyboard, or control T, which I like to use. Yeah, that's it for that. Then you have the rectangular marquee tool. This is where you can make shapes such as a basic square or a rectangle, an oval or a circle, and then you have your rows or your columns. You can select the images, or you can make the images using these. This is a great tool to have. Then you have your lasso tool. This is where you can either select or cut out shapes. Using these tools, we have the lasso tool, which I don't really tend to use. Then we have the polygonal lasso tool, which basically means you can start cutting around an image using like just by the click of your mouse, you can start selecting the image. And then you have the magic wand tool and the quick selection tool if you want to make more rougher selections and stuff. I wouldn't really recommend using this too often. However, if there are certain colors that you need to delete, such as, I don't know, the white in the background of an image, this is a great, easy, quick way to cut something up. We're just going to skip a couple of these. You have your brush tool, if you just want to shade some things in, you want to brush some things in, that's a great tool, and you can also use it to delete some things using a layer mask, which we'll get into very shortly as well. You have your eraser tool. Obviously, it does what it says on the tin. You erase things, you rub things out. Yeah, and then you have the type tool, obviously to create your text and stuff. But yeah, we'll get into the other stuff, in other videos and stuff. I don't really want to bombard you with new information. So yeah, that being said, we're going to get on to making a quick clothing design. I'm going to go ahead and find an image off of Google to show you a quick example of, the process. And yeah. Alright, so if you actually want to go along and do this with me, what I want you to do is find an image off Google. It could be any random image. I don't really care. But now I'm going to show you how, once you've downloaded the image, how you can actually import it into Photoshop and start working on it. How to get everything set up, how to start manipulating it. And yeah, so like I said before, you have file in the top left hand corner. So we're going to click on file, and then we're going to head over to place embedded. Excuse me, man. So we're going to click on this, and as you can see, my downloads will pop up. Some assets I've been using and stuff for other resources. So we're going to click on this, double click this image, and here my image of Scarface, Tony Montana, great film, is showing now that I've imported it. So we're gonna start working on this. I'm gonna take you step by step of the process. So we're gonna head over to the move tool now and just left click on it, and then I'm gonna click Control and T together. And as you can see, my image is now selected. So we don't want the image to be as big as it is, because we are going to be working on a slightly smaller design. So now what I'm going to do is head over to the bottom right corner and just start dragging it inwards and to the left. And then click enter. So basically what I've just done there is I've scaled the image down proportionately. So I've made sure that all of his dimensions, all of his shapes are still intact. However, let's say now I click Control T again, held Shift on my keyboard, and went back over to the same corner. If I started scaling it down, as you can see, it's no longer in proportion. I've started moving it down, however, in that one kind of angle, if that makes sense. I know it's a shit explanation, but it's not going to be scaled proportionately. So yeah, so obviously we don't want this. So I'm going to click enter on my keyboard again and just click Control Z, or head over to the edit and click undo free transform. So now that I'm happy with the image, we do not want it over in the center, over on the left, sorry. So I'm going to click the image and just drag it over to the middle. A line should pop up on your screen, kind of telling you that, okay, this image is centered, or this design is centered. And yeah, that's about it. So right now I am happy with this. So now that I'm happy with where the image is, I'm going to head over to the right side over here, over to this little box with a plus in it, and create a new layer. And basically how layers work are above this layer now, above this Scarface, image, anything that I place above it will be showing above, the Scarface layer. So after I've created my new layer, it should be called layer 1 now. I'm going to right click on this rectangular marquee tool and click elliptical marquee tool, which basically is the the oval shape creator. So now I'm going to head over to the left part of the image and quickly drag it across to where I want it. So right now I'm happy with that. However, I don't really like where the oval is sat. So as my oval tool is selected, I can just click left on my D-pad and get it kind of scaled roughly in the middle. So I'm happy with that right now, but I'm just going to click right on my on my key and then click fill. click color, and just click OK. We're not really too worried about the color of it right now because we are going to change it in future. So you should still have these lines over your oval. So now what I want you to do is just click Control and D on your keypad at the same time. This basically deselects your image, so you can get back to working on it as usual. So now what we want to do is we actually want to drag our Scarface layer above it as so. So then what we're going to do is we're going to click Add a Layer Mask, and then we're just going to click Control I. So as you can see now, our Scarface layer is invisible, but it's not actually been deleted. So now what we want to do is head over to the oval layer. Now we just want to click on the magic wand tool. We're just going to click on the oval, and then on our Scarface layer, we're going to click Control I. So now, as you can see, everything in the oval is selected. Everything outside of the oval has now been deleted. This is what we call layer masking. So we're going to click Control D on the keyboard again to deselect the image. However, now as we can see that Tony is no longer fully within the oval because it's a square image. Certain parts of it are cut off. So this is how we can quickly, get over that. So we're going to click Control T on our keyboard again. So the Scarface layer is selected. And then we're just going to start dragging the image to, kind of fill the oval like so. And then we're going to click Enter now that we're finished. So as you can see now, even though we filled the oval, the actual design is no longer within the oval as such. It's still squared off at the end. So here's what we can do. We can head over to our Scarface layer. We can hold Alt on the keyboard. And then as you see this little arrow pop up, we're just going to click left. So now our image is fully within the circle. Nothing's outside of it, and it's being clipped into the dimensions of the, of the circle as such. So now that we're happy with this, we're going to click on our Move tool again. We're going to head over to the layer 1 section. We're going to right click on the layer, and then we're going to head over to blending options. So now what we want to do is we want to create a basic outline of the oval shape. So we're going to head over to stroke. This is where you can start, creating outlines around the layer. So we're going to left click on stroke here. Yeah, I literally thought I'd just seen a ghost there. But yeah, like I said, we're going to click on stroke. We're going to head over to outside. We're just going to move the size up. And this will start creating like an outline for our shape. So I'm kind of happy with that size. However, I don't really like the color. So we're going to do it, we're going to make it a nice red to really go well with the Scarface kind of theme. So once we're happy with that, we're going to left click on OK. Click on OK outside of this layer. So yeah, that was how to make a basic outline. But obviously we want to spice it up a bit. But first, and this is what I should have done first, I kind of want to put this on a black t-shirt. I'm not actually going to be printing it, but let's pretend this was meant to be on a black t-shirt. So we're going to head over to create the new layer like I showed you earlier, and then we're just going to drag it down here, and then we're going to head over to the create new fill or adjustment layer. We're going to click on solid color, and then we're just going to bring it all the way down to black. This will really help you choose kind of what colors you're going for, when you're making a design or something. As you can see, the actual picture itself, it's looking quite bland. We want to spice it up a bit. So we're going to head over to filter. And like I said, this is exactly where the magic happens. So we're going to left click on filter gallery. So don't worry about these. But here you can see, all the filters that you can add, all the textures, all the effects that you can add to the image. So you want to head over to new effect layer here, and we're going to go over to, let me just find it real quick. And then we're going to go over to texture. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create, a kind of like a grain overlap, a grain texture on the design. This design already had like a grain texture just because of, it's a snapshot from the film, and the film's quite old, but we want to add some more grain. So we're going to do grain type regular, and then we're just going to bump the intensity up a bit, and then we're going to shift kind of like the contrast as the way we deem fit. I really like this kind of grain style, so we're just going to click on OK. So we had the intensity at 77 and the contrast at 96. So as you can see, you know, it is looking a bit shit. However, we're not really worried about how it looks at the moment. We kind of just want to get you used to making, you know, some basic, you know, t-shirt designs as such. So yeah, we're happy with that. However, I just kind of want to move the whole design down itself so I can start adding, you know, some text. So the Scarface layer is selected. However, I want to select the bottom one to move that too. So we're going to hover over the layer, just press Control, and then we're going to left click, and then we're going to click Control and T on our keyboard at the same time. This little flash warning will pop up. We're just going to click OK, and then we're just going to drag it down more towards the center, so it gives us a bit more space to work with on our document. So we're now just going to create a new layer again. However, we'll be using some text for this now. So we're going to head over to horizontal type tool, just click left, and then we're just going to click left again. So right now my text is black. So what you can do is just head over to your layer, hold left, and then just select it all. And we're just going to click on the same red as this, so the eyedropper tool will come out. So we'll just left click on that. It'll kind of copy the hex code of what the color is, and we're just going to click on OK. So I'm just going to type up Scarface, all in capitals, and then I'm just going to click on the move tool. So for some reason it's done I've spelled Scarface wrong. I'm so sorry. So we're just going to highlight the layer again. I'm just going to retype it for you. And yeah, that's the basic text. However, you know, this is way too small, and we don't really like the font of it. So we're going to head back over to our horizontal tool. We're just going to select it all as so. Then on this little toolbar here, we can change kind of the, you know, the amount of points that the text is by. So we're going to left click on this little arrow, and then we're probably going to do 72. So for the font, I'm using Akira Expanded. However, you know, I kind of want to change that to, you know, kind of a different font. So I'm going to type in OPTI Lency and then click enter. I'll link this font in the description. It is a free download. However, you do have to give credit. Wink, wink. But yeah, that's the font we will be using, because it, you know, it references the image very well. And yeah. So, but right now our text is still small and it's not actually centered. So we're going to click Control T on the keyboard again. We're going to center it, and then we're just going to drag it out, you know, with the, you know, the pointers on the actual selection. I'm going to center it again. Now, even though we're happy with the placement of the text, you know, we want to add something to it. It doesn't look right in composition standards. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to head over to the type tool again. We're going to select it all as such, and then we're going to head over to this little create warp text panel. Click on style, and then we're going to do arc. So this basically means that, you know, it creates like how do I say, like literally like an arc. It makes it bend either positive, which is up, or negative, which is down. However, we want it positive, so we're just going to reshape it kind of to what we seem fit. 39 looks like a safe bet. Then we're just going to click OK. We're going to click on move tool again, and then, you know, we're just going to bring it down as so. So this does look a bit bended, like outways to me. Sorry about that, that's my fault. Yeah, this does look a bit like in your face. So I'm just going to select it again. Actually, everything looks good on this side. So yeah, that's how to create the warp text. However, you know, we kind of want to spice it up a little bit. Maybe if we click Control T and we kind of scale it out a little bit more. Yeah, that looks perfect to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the actual like design part. I know it was shit. Don't get me wrong. However, you know, we're not really worried about that. We just wanted you to be able to make something really quickly. You know, using your newfound knowledge, because we actually covered quite a lot in this video. However, now what we want to do is actually put it on a t-shirt. So this is how you prepare your document. So we're going to head over to the, you know, the color fill layer, and then on the eye symbol, we're just going to click left. So as you can see, the black layer is actually no longer showing. It's still present, it's still there. However, because we've turned, because we've clicked the eye and we've turned it off, it's no longer going to be shown in our document. And then we're going to head over to File. We're going to click Save As. I'm just going to put it in my Downloads folder because I'm not too worried about this. And then on Save As Type, we're going to click on PNG and we're going to click Save. Large file, fast to save in, and then click OK. So basically what a PNG is a transparency kind of file. So with a JPEG, when you save it, naturally when you open it on your laptop or something or on an email, it's going to have a background on it. It's going to be either white, I think it's mostly white, though sometimes it is black. And obviously we don't want that because we're going to be putting it on a t-shirt. So now we're going to head over to File, Open, and I'm going to find my t-shirt markup. I'm going to show you where you can get it to. I'm going to head over to Fuller Mo Rue Porter Luxury Mockups and click on the front. And as you can see, this was a design I worked on. You can see her on my Instagram at Jawz Graphics. I'm just going to hide this here when it wants to load. So a quick thing about the markups, if you head over to the link in my description, I actually do have an affiliate code for these markups. I would use some better ones, however, nobody wants to give me an affiliate link. So we will be chasing the bag today, unfortunately, because designers are very underpaid. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're going to head over to File, left click, and then we're going to click on Place Embedded like I showed earlier. And then we're just going to locate the actual source of our design. So we're going to click on Downloads, and then we'll find Untitled 1. And then boom, here's our Scarface layer. So now we want to present it all properly. So we do want to scale it down. So we're just going to drag it from the corners. And then we're going to center it on the markup. And we'll probably make this just a tiny bit bigger. So we'll scale it out. Again, when it does want to load. Just like so. That looks decent. I'm going to click enter again. And then boom. Move it down. There you have it. That's your first ever clothing design made. If you followed what I did, your design should look somewhat similar to this. I'll leave a link to all the assets that they use, such as the font, the image, everything like that, the affiliate link to the markups. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We are planning on doing these videos very, very often. And yes, stay subscribed, stay updated, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.